What's up, guys? Got the camera on my head today and we're going to the new garage. Got a little bit of snow. Here's the trucks here and the old place. We got quite a bit of snow. You got the doggy doodle with us today. Try to stay on the road. Yeah, you gonna go for a run? Yeah? I just figured I'd go over there and check things out. I haven't been over there in a while. And kinda see how much snow got into the garage. Well, we got about a foot of snow. And it got pretty windy, so I'm kinda curious to see how much snow is inside of the garage. So I guess we're gonna find out when we get over there. All right, well, it looks like we got some snow. There's nowheres to park here. That kind of stinks. I guess I'm gonna have to turn around then, do a 3-point turn. Yeah, of course I don't have the skid steer here right now. The skid steer's up at the other place because I was using it for firewood. So I don't have any way to plow this driveway at the time, which is no big deal because I'm not gonna be, there's really nothing to do up here right now anyway. It's pretty slow and there's just not much going on. So I guess we'll go walk it and let the dog have some fun. It's time to release the hound. Come on. You gonna go for a walk? Yeah. Come on. Oh yeah, she's pretty deep there. It's always deep by the road. Doggy. You gonna take a pee right there? Yeah? Alright, come on. I'll let you off the leash when we get closer. I'll let you off the leash when we get further off the road. You can go do whatever you want. Ah. Yeah, looks like we got some deer tracks crossing up here. I got a bunch of trail cameras set up and I see a lot of deer, some foxes, but mostly deer and babies and stuff on it all the time. And they're always down in this area. I'm not a hunter or anything like that. I actually don't have the least amount of interest in hunting. But I think it's pretty cool that the deer have a safe place to go over on my land here and don't have to worry about getting hunted. I like the nature around. There's quite a bit of snow here. Yeah, it's probably about 10 inches or so. Of course, there's not that much right where we are. We got to take a dump right in the middle of the driveway. Whew. Crazy dog. I guess we're supposed to get a pretty bad winter storm in a few hours. Winds are supposed to gust up to like 60 miles an hour and all that good stuff. So I figured, well, if I'm gonna come over here and check it out, I better do it now. I'm gonna be out of town for the rest of the week working at the body shop, the actual body shop I work at. It's pretty slow in the winter time and just don't have enough work for my business to keep the bills paid, so gotta find other things to do. Man, what is it with you? Wow, that's 2 dump stops in a row. All right, you want to get off the chain? All right, you stay. There we go. I just like to get her off of the road before I let her off the leash, because she has, I don't even think there's a brain in there. She'll just chase after anything that moves and think it's a toy, and does not have any regards at all to traffic coming. So all right, here we are. Driveway is about 600 feet off the road, so it's not that bad of a hike. It keeps me far enough off the road to keep the busybodies away. I'm sure you guys that do the same kind of stuff I do, it's a pain in the ass having people stop by all the time and bother you and all that. So it's nice to be off the road, so you ain't got to worry about any of that. And if you're that worried about it, you come up here, you lock the gate, and disarm my alarm system. And we're in. Woo! Yeah, it's dark in here. It is dark in here for sure. The doggy's having fun. Is that all that matters? Is you're having fun? Huh? We do this whole trip just for you? Pretty much, huh? I think we did. Well, the place hasn't collapsed yet. This is the first time I've been over here since we got any actual snow. She's still standing. I mean, there's quite a bit of weight. We'll grab this rake here, see if we can knock some of this off. I ain't gonna do nothing. There's a pretty good amount of weight on the roof. Yeah, she hasn't collapsed yet. I mean, I built it the way you're supposed to, so I sure hope that we're not going to have a collapse. Like this is actually going to do anything. Wishful thinking. That's all right. All the weight on the roof will keep the building planted in place for when the windstorm comes in a few hours. Right, doggy? Yep. Oh. Wow. So we can open this door a little bit to get some light in here. Yeah, so basically nothing has changed. What a shock, right? Basically, the reason I wanted to come over here was just to come over. And I wanted to come over because I was really curious to see how much snow got inside the building. Not that there's anything I'm going to do about it, but yeah, it'd be nice to know, like, if the snow's coming up through the eaves and all that, and, you know, what it's getting on. So, you know, like if it's getting all over something, I can move it out of the way. But honestly, the only snow that's in here is snow that me and the dog tracked in. That's literally it. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to complain about that. You love the snow, huh? Look at you go. There's actually not as much up here. This whole thing, I call it the runway because it's like a runway. Like, it's like 1,000 feet from end to end, and the wind just whips through here. And right now the wind is coming from this way. On a normal day, the wind comes from this way, and it comes at us, but now it's coming from exactly that way, which usually when it comes from that way, you know that there's a storm a brewing. So I guess we'll just follow the dog and see where she wants to take us. My tower's still standing. It's just literally sitting there, not anchored into the ground at all. This tower's not standing, but it wasn't standing to begin with anyway. Look at the dog go. His little legs, huh? Nice day to fly a kite or something. It's like a really steady breeze right now. She must have found something she smells. Yeah, you guys who watch my videos regularly, the property video I posted just about a year ago, I think, it might have been more in February. None of this, like where that pile of brush is over there, that was still grown out quite a bit. I mean, this was kind of like a narrow path going down through here, so I did a lot of work over here this year. Didn't really film a whole bunch of it because it's just a little bit as you go. It's not like like the kind of stuff like this that gets done. It's not like I tell myself, okay, Tuesday of next week, we're gonna clear, you know, 5,000 square feet. I don't work like that. I come up here, hang out one night and get a little bit bored. I'll hop in the brush hog and I'll just clear a little bit and then let it go, and then when I'm ready I'll hop in there again and clear some more. I'm kind of curious, this dump box that I hoed off the trailer a few months ago, I come back here a few times and I see deer tracks and stuff. It's like the perfect place for something to live. I wonder if anything's in here. Well, there's definitely animal tracks in here, but nothing. Tell you what, this would make a good home for a caveman. I mean, this would really make a... This is kind of cool, actually. Like, this is a really nice, like, she shed, gazebo kind of thing, honestly. Maybe that's what it'll be. I ain't got a truck to put it on. I really don't want to tip it back over on the bottom because this thing is in such nice shape that, you know, if you tip it down and let it sit in the grass, that's what kills these things. That's what rots everything out, is the ground. Yeah, I know that's hard to say for the side of it, but what I'm gonna do eventually is put some big, huge blocks under it so the air gets underneath it, and probably just tip it back up on its side like this so it don't fill up with snow. I'll probably never get a truck to use it on, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. I wish it was a 10-foot box instead of a 14, because if it was a 10-foot box I would actually have a lot more use for it. But the amount of time and effort, labor and money it would take to shorten it down to 10 foot just would not be worth it. So I don't know, maybe it's for sale. Maybe it'll be for sale. I guess everything's for sale. Yeah, it seems like a lot of work to walk all the way over. That's like another, that's probably another like 400 feet to get over to that property line. So, whew, it doesn't take much for the old asthma to start kicking in. Just got to take it slow. It's the best I could do. Stupid dog. I guess we're gonna take a walk through the woods on the way back. I really like it in here, all these apple trees. This is really pretty in here. especially in the winter time. I should spend more time over here. Life just gets in the way, man. It's hard to spend the time doing the simple things anymore. Just work, and when you get out of work, you're tired and you just don't want to do anything. This is a trail I made through here last year. It'd be cool to get a little plow or something and come plow all these trails, but I don't have a four-wheel or anything like that. I just have my mini bike. Come on. Yeah, I actually took the mini bike out a couple days ago when we got all this snow. It's kind of a death trap. Like the second you take your concentration off of what you're doing, the front tire wants to skid out from underneath you. This is really cool walking through these woods though. It definitely looks really small in the winter compared to the summertime when everything's all bloomed. Every single one of these weeds is in full bloom, and like right there I could see the road. You would think you're like 20 miles back in a forest in the summertime. I mean, there's no way I mean, you can't even see that road if you climbed up on a ladder. It's crazy. Come on, Zoe. There's a groundhog nest that's over there where she is. Come on. Actually, you'll see that in that video too last year. Just about a year ago I posted the new property. And she was interested in that same groundhog hole. I actually caught pictures of him on the camera a couple times. He's pretty big groundhog. But it's cool because he's not bothering anything. I like having nature over here. All kinds of different animals and birds. As long as they're not hurting anything. But when the reality of it is they own this land before I did. It's not fair for me to come into their home and just start, you know, exterminating all the animals and the deer and everything that live in here. It's really peaceful. I enjoy it. The trail technically goes back out. See, if you can see through the woods, there's the one tower right there that was standing up. You can probably barely see it. It technically goes out that way, but the driveway is like literally right here. I always wanted to make the trail come out over here too, but just never got there yet. Come on. My plan this winter was actually to come in here when we got some good snow so there's not mud everywhere and actually do some cleaning up with the skid steer, but they're calling for 50-degree days here this week. Come on, Zoe, this way. So I don't know how much longer the snow is actually going to last. It's just going to turn into a muddy mess again. It's kind of like, you know, these winters anymore. I'm 32. I remember when I was like 10, 7, 6, like just young, that, I mean, we used to get like snow by Halloween. Like beginning of November, you usually had snow. It might not have lasted, but you had it. Like now, like, this is central New York. Like this is really the first snow we've had to speak of this year. And it's, I think today's January 9th. I mean, we've had some dustings. We've had I think we had one storm that was like 4 inches or not even, but it was literally gone the next day because it got really warm. I mean, this is like 4 days since the snowfall happened, and it's still here. Well, one of the other reasons I came up here is to actually do some work. Yeah, right. Anyway, I got a snowplow that goes on a pickup truck, and I just bought a skid steer quick attach plate. So basically what I'm gonna do is make a snowplow for the skid steer. And there's a bunch of metal buried in here, which I was planning on getting out weeks ago for this project, and never made it over here. So now I have to dig all this metal out from the snow that I need for this project, and then I have to carry it down to the car, which luckily it looks like it's all kind of right here anyway. I guess I kind of lucked out on that. All right, we're not doing too bad then. I think that's everything. All right. Okay, well that was a lot easier than I expected it to be. I thought I was going to be digging in here because you know how it is. You put something down and you think you know where it is, and then you go to get it, and then it's not where you think it is. And that's kind of my scrap pile for the time being out here. So I'm not really set up too much over here yet. Well, there it is. There's the metal I need. So that was easy. I just have to lug that all the way back down to the car when we leave. You know, one thing I've been really curious about is about these water containers here. I've been wondering if it's okay for these to freeze or not. And well, it's froze solid. You know, I know a lot of containers like this, they're kind of made to freeze because, you know, they get transported on trucks and go through stuff and all that. And I mean, I only filled, it's actually got more water in it than, I actually only filled it up to here. And now the water level's like way up, so I'm glad she definitely bloated a little bit when it froze. But I mean, as long as it don't break this valve off or anything, I think it'll be fine. Because it's a pain in the ass to get this thing full of water. It's a lot of water in here, like 250 gallons of water. You know, and it's just kind of a hassle, not a hassle, but it's just a waste of energy. You know, I got to load it on the truck with the skid steer and then strap it down, drive it 10 miles down the road to fill it up at the spring, and then drive it back and then get it back off with the skid steer. And, you know, I really like, you know, in the fall before it froze, I'm like, man, it's a shame to empty all this out. Why don't I just, I paid little to nothing for this thing. It's like, you know what? We'll find out if you can freeze them or not. I looked it up on Google, and I'd say I got like 50-50 reviews on it. Half the people said they're okay to freeze, and half the people said that you can't let them freeze. So I guess, you know what, the best way to do anything is find out yourself. So that's what I'm doing. So I guess if it becomes a Harbor Freight tank and becomes a big split in the side of it, and then we'll know not to freeze them again. All right, well, I guess it's time to leave. I've been up here for about an hour, on and off. Now I can pick up my metal, walk it all the way down to the car. I should have got this metal out a month ago because my skid steer plate is supposed to be delivered today at some point. Usually when you order those, I usually get mine from eBay. They're usually a couple weeks out. Come on. Depending on where you are, who you buy it from. Like everything I do, I buy the cheapest one that I can find. I bought several of these over the years. Actually, this brush hog, this is the brush hog I built. And there's one right there that I ordered. So the grapple bucket I converted has one. The tree shear I just sold. I bought quite a few of them. They're usually a week or two out. I buy the cheapest one. I think I gave like $110 for it. They didn't have 3/8 available, so I got 5/16, which for a little Mickey Mouse snowplow, I mean, that's overkill. 1/4 inch would have been fine. But I always get things a little heavier than I have to, because if I ever want to make something else out of it or beef it up, you know, who knows, maybe in a couple years I won't have a use for this snowplow and I'll want to use that skid steer plate for something else. Yeah, guys, just bear with me here when I'm talking, because I tell you what, this whole asthma thing really sucks. My neighbor over there's got quite the G-body collection going on. He's got some pretty cool stuff. I met him a couple months ago. He seems like a really nice guy. Got some pretty cool stuff over there. That's pretty cool to see, you know, stuff that's still around. You know, when I was little, me and my dad used to go to a lot of old junkyards and stuff like that, and you know, all that stuff is all gone now. I mean, even though a lot of it's junk, it was still fun, you know, and there's still parts on some of them cars, like moldings and stuff, that's still worth it. Oh, stop. Usually what happens is the junkyard owner dies, and then the kids go in there and they scrap everything, get the fast cash, and then they sell the land, and that's it. That's the end of it. There was a junkyard up by where I grew up. He had so much cool stuff in there. He had Novas. I mean, he had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cars. Not all of them were in super great shape. I mean, he had cool stuff like 57 Chevys, 59 El Caminos, Novas, 69 Camaros, you know, Mopars, Dusters. Not that Dusters are worth $1 million, but he had some pretty prized things in there. And the guy passed away, and the kids went in there after they inherited it. They actually had like a mobile car crusher or shredder come right out to the property and literally just feed everything right through it and scrapped everything. Everything got scrapped. Man, I tell you what a shame. What a shame that is. And you know, there's a couple more stories like that I could tell from other junkyards, and they pretty much all end the same way. You know, the younger generation, and yes, that's my generation and the generations younger than me, they don't appreciate that stuff. Come on. They just don't appreciate any of the old stuff anymore. And they just soon scrap it and get the money. Come on, it's time to go. Come on. I probably gotta unlock the door first before a car comes. Come on. Come on. Good girl. It's a good girl. You stay back there. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see people that keep stuff that's, you know, that's at least somewhat usable. You know, just keep it around. And once those old cars are all scrapped and all crushed and gone, that's it. That's the end of it. They're never coming back. You know, even if there's just a molding or something on it that you can use, to me it's still worth saving around if somebody has the real estate to do it. Puppy dog, you look like you had fun, huh? You look like you had fun. Look at you, all snowy. You love being outside, don't you? Yes, you do. You know, it's crazy. Look at how fast the Amish build stuff. That thing over there, that wasn't even remotely in existence last week when I was over here. Now it looks like they're gonna start putting a roof on it today. Unbelievable. All right, Well, I got one of my old business signs up on my grandfather's Alice Chalmers. We'll see if that sign is still up after this windstorm we're supposedly getting. I guess it's time to go home, huh, doggy? I mean, look at that. Wow, it looks like they're building a barn. I'm kind of jealous. That's like, I'd like to have that. Wow. They put stuff up quick, I tell you. All right, back home once again. I don't know if I'm a cat person or a dog person. There's a dog, there's a cat. There's a cat. I don't know, Zoe, I think I'm more of a cat person. I guess I better get these pieces of metal out of the car before they melt and go all over the place. Make a bigger mess out of this pigsty of a car of mine. Put these over here in scrap pile number 10. Actually, you know what? We'll start another scrap pile right there. How about that? Good enough.